Hey guys, it's Kian. So here's the scramble. We immediately see this green and white pair, and the edge that goes with it is this one. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I think I'm going to do FUF. That brings this here, then there, and then brings this edge red on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 move block. And then this is going to go here and then be right here. Um, yep, so that's pretty much it. Let's get to it. FUF makes that line. DRY back makes that. And then now we have this, so I'll go ahead and solve it with wide moves like that. And I guess I'll do this pair first. And then this back pair. And we notice we have the forward slash. There's that. Now we can do EOLR, so I'll swap these two. And now we have the one move arrow, just like that. And then this is going to skip.
Alright, so I'm looking around the cube and I see this. And the pairs are over here and over here. And first look, it looks like a bad first block. So I'm gonna look around some more. See this pair. That looks kind of hard. This pair. Alright, that looks easier. So first block would be R, U, R, U wide, and R wide and back. But let's look at DR first, see what happens when you do those moves. And I think DR ends up over here, which would take many moves to solve. So I think if I do an in-between move, I can make DR end up in a good place. So, and then this, just to influence DR. So then we realize the DR gets solved as I do that. So there's this pair and this pair. This pair looks very hard to solve, so I'll do this one first. This pair. And then I'll solve this pair. So I have a soon case, two bad edges on the bottom. So I can flip these two while doing soon. So I'll get a 4-flip. And I guess I can kind of cancel into that. So this is an arrow and you're over here. Down the bottom now. Orange, orange. Yeah, that's it.
So with the scramble, I immediately noticed this green, orange, white pair, and I also noticed the centers here, and the corresponding edges here. I can simply do R2 to pair it up with the center, then UW to pair up this pair with the center and edge, and then that creates a 2x2x1, and then for the next pair I notice it's here, and I'd solve it like this, split it up, and then this sets up a 2-move insert, so RW pairs up, and then it's 1 move to solve. I notice DR is here, so I'll do R prime, then insert, so it orients it, and then insert DR, U, R2, and I notice it creates this blue-orange pair. So I insert this, and then this back pair, I can solve it like this: R prime U, and then sort of this RW to R prime thing, and then it sets up to this pair, which is simply solved like this. And that's second block done. And CMLL, these two match. So I'll do CMLL. And then EO, these two are misoriented, these two are oriented, and these bottom two are oriented. I solve it like this: M prime U M arrow. And then I keep track of UL piece, and then U M. And then I notice UL is solved, and then UR is here, so I slice away from it. And that solves UL UR, and then just 4C.
So for this scramble, the first thing I see is this pair. Then I also have this edge. And if I do an R2, they'll put this edge here with this center, and then U wide will solve it. But this pair, when I do the R2, midway through the R2, I'll have done an R, so this pair will be here. And then the standard solution for that default pair is UR, and then it's a one move pair. So then you do something to fix your cross, like UR prime, but we don't need that here. And the second R of that UR will actually finish putting this piece here. So then I'll have this, and I will move pair like this. So then I'll do UI to put this here, and then that pair will do R wide B, and I'll have my block. The only thing that it does to this piece is actually the R wide. None of the other moves actually move this piece, so knowing where it is very easy. Just imagine it suffers an R wide, and then Y will be here. So my solution would be this. And I see that this is a one move pair. I'll pair up while I'm inserting this. And you may think that it's bad because it's in the wrong slot, but that actually doesn't matter, because if I solve the other pair into this slot, this pair will be kicked out and there will be a free pair in the top. So it's the same as if I had a free pair in the top. So now I'll pair these two and insert them. And then I just have to insert that on the back. Now my CMLL. Now I have this here, so I'll do ULR. And I got a 4C skip.
I'm going to go for a white block with green on bottom. So I already have this pair. So bring the edge here, match it up at the center, pair it to make a square, and then pair these pieces up and insert. And then put in the green edge for the second block. While I'm doing that, I notice the orange edge is here. So I bring it up and down, then pair it up with this corner back here, which also pairs up the next pair nicely. So insert that pair, insert the next pair at the same time. Then I have a necklace case, and then just a normal two edge flip, like that, which leaves these two pieces on bottom, the white and yellow. So insert those, pair it up, and then just last 4 edges.
First, I see this pair, so I will start with green-white first block. If I do F2D, square will be made, but the DR edge will come out, like this. So, to prevent this DR, I will do F2RD. After the F2, this corner and this edge will come here, and the R move will separate this corner and edge like this, and I will do R white prime, U M prime to make the green red pair after D. So F2 R D R white prime U M prime. And insert this to here. Now I see this will be paired. Before insert this pair, now I see this, so I will insert this pair right after inserting this. Opposite L case. I use EOLR on this case. Insert, and this piece has to come here, so flip, flip.
So what I see from this scramble is there's this orange-green pair, and then actually orange has this edge connected to it already. And the last two pieces are here. So what I do is U to move the pair of the red, M2, D, M prime to pair this, U prime and D together, and F prime to solve the first block. Then I notice that this is already connected, and the corresponding pieces are here. So what I do is this to pair them up, then insert it like this. Then I notice if I R right prime, this gets paired together, and then I just U prime R right prime to solve it. And this is the same case, these two opposite, these two are opposite. So I'll do this, and to get arrow, I do that, solve the arrow. Then since these two are opposites, and this is the other URI edge, I would do this. Then because this back is white, I would solve it like this, and that's all.
So for first block, the first thing I look for is pairs, but this one here doesn't give us any nice squares with either of the two possible DL edges. So instead, I'm going to use this pair here, because there's a nice square here, which we can do with just RTU wide. Now, I also noticed that RTU wide brings this pair here to the top layer, which is good, because that's how I usually solve this pair, but it's from the wrong AOF. So rather than doing a U wide, I'd actually kind of do something like that to set up this pair to the back. Now, as I'm doing this pair, I want to look for pairs to start second block, because how I usually do second block is I form a pair while implementing DR, and then insert them both at the same time. I don't really like placing DR first. So as I'm solving this pair, I see this corner here, sorry, this edge, and then I see this corner here. So I can then go straight into solving this, and I also see that the DR edge is here. So if I do an R wide, I can then orient this and bring it to the top layer, which is a good position for it to be. As I then solve this pair, it also brings this edge down to here, which is nice, because that means I could, if I wanted to, solve the square like that. But instead, I've actually been tracking this corner and this edge here, which is the other pair for second block, and I noticed that this can actually be paired up in one move. Now, I can't insert this in any way that preserves this pair, so what I do instead is I just solve DR and just have both of the pairs on the top layer, and that way, as I then solve this pair here, I can then solve this pair at the same time with a sledgehammer type thing. Now, this is just a necklace case, but I also notice here that because necklace preserves edges, I can look ahead into EOLR, and I can see that we've just got the UL and UL edges are the only flipped edges, and one's on the top and one's on the bottom, which means I can then start doing EO how I normally would do it. And that sets up the EOLR case. Now, before I insert this with an M2, I notice that this orange matches up with its center here, which means that I need to pair up this red sticker with the red center in the back. As I start, I foresee.
Okay, so I'm going to be like everyone else and do this green block with white on bottom. So this edge connects with the center pretty easily like this. And I know I could do R, U, R like that, but I don't think I would. Then this pair around the back like this. DR is here, and once I do this, I might just pair these two up, and that actually makes this nice block here. And then I have this pair where these two match, so it's like this. Then recognize CMLL, U2, and none of these edges are blue, yellow, so I know that has to be in the back. So that's going to come to the front here. And I put green into the back while I solve EO, blue in the front, and finish.
There are a few ways I would do this actually. Let's see. This one looks the most fun. Okay, so the way that I would do this is I see this this green-orange pair and then this edge right here, and I would connect them like that. And in doing that, I see these two pieces, and then I can connect them by doing that. So then I would start by doing this, and then R wide, and then setting up for that. And then I would fix the centers, and at the same time I'd be looking for this yellow blue piece. So I see it's right here. So then when I put it down to solve it, I see this pair immediately. So then this blue orange pair immediately. So I solve it. And then I see these two pieces. So then I would do this to solve it. And then I've got this case, and if I do the normal algorithm, I flip these two edges, and so I would get two flipped edges, and that's not very nice. Right now it's a 3-flip, so I'll do the COL, which is anti-soon, U prime, Nicholas, and then I see UL and UR right here, and I don't like this EOLR, so I'm gonna just go and do the normal. So I'm gonna do that to put the UL UR edges right here. The U primes that they're opposite each other, put them together, and then I'd see from here that I've got to skip, so then I'll just finish like that.
So I'm pretty lazy, so I'm not going to look at the for the full first block from inspection, but like there's a orange and green pair here, and here's the edge that goes with it. So I know that if I do an R and then a U prime to bring this here, then an R2 will, oh wait, no, R U prime, no, RU. Okay, you know, I'll just do it. Here we go. And the second pair will just end up wherever. So then there's that. And then these two I'll just go like kind of CFOP style almost, just pair them up and then insert them. And then I'm really bad with this, but I always do the rotation like afterward. And then there's this piece, so I bring that in. Then I see these two, I would do like that. Now, I don't really know how to do this pair very well. I used a lot of F moves, like that. And I know that like a lot of fast viewers don't do any F moves at all, but I don't really care. Oh, this is a bad CMLL, but this is the algorithm I use. It's sexy sledge soon, and then arrow, I don't know EOLR, so I'm not even explaining what I'm doing. And then 4C, I don't know how to recognize it beforehand, so I'll just like deal with it when I get to it. So there we go. This is the edge that doesn't match up with anything, and I know the block's right here. So the only thing that will move this without messing up the block is to turn it like that. And then from there it's pretty obvious what happens next.